Okay, so we're gonna go do some papering of the kite. This is the kite here. Alright. So what we do first, have to get a good ground. We haven't had the best plastic bag here, but what we do straight color paper. Yeah, it's kind of windy, so I have to use this part of the plastic bag. Wow. The plastic bags grow holes, but let me see if I can get the best side that I can use. The other side don't have it. But also grow holes. It's like straight, like this. Everybody is not good. Focus now. So that dog got too many holes. But let me see if I can make something work. I think that should be it.
Oh, asuma tip ba ya? Asuma tip mo guji na tig dai.
Where tip?
Ya asuma tip mo for what
Ah,
tip so
so
tip on judge can.
we're gonna take for like that. We're gonna have to.
You can do play for lang.
Bueno, I was wondering if I should use the big thick bag on me.
Big bag.
The white bag from the laundry.
There you go.
No, I don't like it. So, stick here. Stick that one here. So stick the two ends. Don't worry about holes. We're gonna fix that up. So we're gonna lock that here. Lock that. Make sure that you have enough for the two ends here. Now I'm gonna stick it in because the bag's a bit soft, it's gonna bust. So I'm gonna start sewing around that kite. Pancho León. Pancho León. Pancho. What is that? So use fine shards, and I'm gonna make a needle with this. So let me show you. We're gonna shave that to get it stained as possible. Then I'm gonna use this to sew around. So with the fine thread and the needle, I'm gonna ball it up, come around, ball it up, come around. See, like I'm gonna make it needle with that stuff. So from now, to the kite, stand to the edge, right? Make sure it's right to the edge. Alright. I'm going to sew that side first. I'm going to pass it through the string like when you're sewing clothing. And there is no specific size to do it this way, but you can just sand it in, sand it out, sand it in, sand it out. Pull enough thread to go right around the kite. Just do an average. What amount of thread you think about to use. If you're just starting, don't go too fast, take your time. You can always pull back the threads from the other end. So I'm gonna sew in this side right here now. Go up, around, up and around. So I make sure the plastic bag is tight, but for now, the plastic bag is gonna look slack because I doesn't have anything to hold it. So I'm gonna pull off the rest of the thread. Nice. So from here now I can manage how tight I would want to see my kite look. Okay. So I can just stick the bag underneath here. When it comes to here, opening this stuff here, that part, you pull it now, but I'm not gonna buzz the end because it can goes down through the plastic bag and all of that, so that's the problem. So I'm gonna go right across with that stuff. Okay. Right across with that stuff. So from now, I'm going to pull off where I stick that bag. I'm going to go sewing here. So papering is not a big set of work because we paper very fast here. And because around the kite is so tight now, I can start pulling, just shoot the bag as the way that I want it to. Okay. Okay. I'll show you how it looks after I'm finishing here. And then for the last piece here, I'm gonna ensure that I pull it also. You just take your finger and pull it as tight as possible. Send the string through it. Send it down. Alright. And as you're going, pull up and sew it. If there is enough persons to help you hold the plastic bag, it's even easier. Okay. So when we reach to the top here, where we press the bag in the pool, then we're going to tie. Then we're going to make sure where the crosspiece is. That's the crosspiece here. You want to put a piece of thread on top of here to keep the ends down. I'm gonna do all the same. Okay. You don't want to do this one yet, so you want to make sure you pull that here first. You should feel a little bit of instinct when you're pulling the fine thread or the sewing thread, so it can tell you what amount it can go. Then you come back to this one here. You should put it, make sure it's on top here. So after you finish, the kite should look like this. Then you want to do the top piece now. So you want to make sure you pull that up. Okay. Then you can leave it here still. So far my thread is finished from my little needle which I've made. So I want to just pull that out, show that. Take a fresh piece of thread again. This is sewing thread. And you want to tie that up again. Two, three, 4, 5. It doesn't have to be all this, but just for safety. So far after I have almost to finishing up the kite, these holes are going to be patched, okay? We're going to stick those. It's going to be still come out unique, so we're going to stick it from the back and make the kite look unique. So for now, this is how the kite looks. I'm going to make sure that I do the mad bull and all of that before we sing it, let you hear what it sounds like. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the rest of the process. Alright, so the rest of the process is going to entail like this. So I'm going to pull up, pull that upward, and then cross it over there. Make sure it's tight. Then you want to start sewing. Okay, take enough thread that you think you're going to use. This up here, you want to sew it at least 2 centimeters close. Okay, if you want to go millimeter is okay if you got the time. So we use sewing. If you have glue, you can use the contact cement glue, but we use more of the traditional way. So we sew it, save our money on glues and so forth. Okay, same thing for the next side. You pull it up and straighten it down, and because the string of the kite is so tight, you don't want to let that rush up too much. So you want to keep the kite off any sharp objects that's going to cut the string. Pull it off, right off. You can take the last one to the edge. Okay. That should hold it in place. So I'm going to go back to where I started. I don't have to pull much, but I can take a little tension and just tie it here. Okay. Then make sure that I pull the strings tight enough. Bring it back to that end here. Make sure the bag is straight. Tight. Buzz that off. There you go. So now I'm going to go cut around that stuff. Cut off the edges, the extra bags. And make sure it looks nice and tight. See? It's really tight. If I want, I can heat that up and get it more tighter. But for now, I'm gonna work with it like this. So I'll be back. So what I'm using is a razor. Okay. I'm gonna be using a razor blade to cut around the edges, and you have to be very careful because the razor blade is so sharp, around the kite is so tight. Any little touch can just snap the thread. So how we do it? You can take any of the blades, okay? Anyway. I'm gonna have to be very careful cutting this and show you all. Alright. Cut around. Just make sure it's thin enough and it doesn't flop, so otherwise it's gonna sing. Okay. Take the next end. Want to do the same thing. It's even better to cut from forward so you can see the string. When you're coming closer to the string, then you stop. This razor is not that sharp, but you can still do some damages if you get close to the string. So, cut in. So when it comes to here, that's very careful. Okay, so I'm going to touch from the other side. Change the side, Steve. No. The other side is really bad. So don't try to cut it fast. You're used to making the kites. So that part is not on hard course. Okay, so that is how it looks when you have cut it off. Now see that. So the kite is almost finished. So this plastic black can stay here. So you want to make sure that these are still turned down. Just shove them down. And even around the kite also, you can just send it down. So this is the kite. We're gonna strap this down Alright, for the V's, I'm gonna need my little needle again to show you how we do the strapping. Okay, my needle is not here, but there's a piece of bamboo. I'm gonna use that. And this time we're gonna double the fine thread. Two fine thread, like how you thread a needle. And put it together. Tie it up here. Nice. Then start from here. Measure it back up here. Press it here. Press it back here, so. Yeah. Press it up here, so. Pull up my slacks. Press it on here. Press it back here. Bust it. Okay. Okay. And before we do anything, make sure you pull off all the extras as possible. Then tie it. Just like how we did it. Okay. So let it go again. Then we take it from the other side. It's going to be from this side. It'll be a little bit difficult to get. Up to the top. Now we're gonna go pull that stuff up here. Gonna hold the piece in the center. Press it down. The nose is a bit high, which is here. The rest of the extras from the top. Does the same thing. Okay, this is how it should look. If it doesn't like this is here, we have a method we use with the heating, and we heat that up. So we take off the nose from it. And the kite's ready to fly. But now that's it. Okay, so the most important stuff is done. The hole is going to be patched, as I said. Maybe if we want, we can heat that up with some fire. And so forth. To make it look as this side. So far, so good. What I have to make sure now is that the right plastic bag now for this. So with this I can use almost any string for it, but I have to use a string that is plastic bag. That's gonna make it sound very epic. Then I'm gonna have to cut it off. So with this needle, which I've made, that's not on the real needle, it's a piece of matchstick, and some strings. So I can cut that down a little more, cut it down, get it more thinner to sew the marble. And I have to look for a special bag to put on this to make it sound the way that we want to hear it sound. So far into the game, I'm going to show you the final product.